What's up, guys? It's Eddie, and today I have the whatever this is called TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. Now, I've had this for about 2 weeks. I've had other smartwatches. I've had the Huawei watch, some Samsung Galaxy watches. I actually have Active Watch 2 right here itself. I've had the Fossil Gen 5. I've had quite a few smartwatches, and I want to make you aware of some of the things that I found out about the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. This is the latest one. It came out about a month ago. I was excited because it has the new Snapdragon 4100 or 4000, whatever it's called, and there's some things that I guess are making me just gonna return it. And there's things I love about it, but here are a couple things that I ran into when it came to TicWatch Pro 3 GPS, the latest model itself. The box, pretty simple. So here's the TicWatch Pro. I've had some weird quirks, and again, just making you aware of it. This is probably just early adopter glitches, but I am going to return it. Maybe I pick it up in a couple months, and hopefully this is all resolved. But first things first, some weird things. It has 2 power menus. This is like the regular. This is actually considered the power button here. This is the actual power button for Wear OS or the smartwatch. So you have one there. You have this other one that's most likely from TicWatch itself. And this one actually has a speaker draining, essential mode, restart, power off. So a little weird, but just be aware of that. This is not a glitch. Now, one thing you should keep in mind is that with this watch, you're going to have a lot of extra apps itself. All the Tic Pulse, Tic Exercise, Tic Breathe, Tic Oxygen, Tic Zen, Tic Hearing, Voice Memo. There's a bunch of extra apps that you may or may not want. Now, keep in mind, you also have the regular Wear OS or Google Fit applications itself. Now, keep in mind, because I didn't, honestly, for this watch, I mean, it's a nice watch. Actually, this being a big watch, I didn't mind it. It fits comfortable. The strap is nice. I don't have the biggest wrist, and actually, that's why I prefer the 40 millimeter Galaxy Watch Active 2 for the size. But with the Galaxy Watch Active or Galaxy Watches, notifications suck. They honestly suck. To get notifications on these, they suck. Wear OS has notifications down. Like, it is awesome. So for me, fitness wise, I mean, this is not a watch I'm going to want to bang up at the gym. I have actual real watches, and I have my smartwatches. I prefer my smartwatches throughout the week because I'm in random meetings and it's nice to just glance. So I use this more as a notification hub and to occasionally take the call while I'm on the go. And this watch does that. But if you do want to remove all those TicHealth, Tic everything, if you remove that, you lose this essential feature of speaker draining. Just so you know that. If you start removing the Tic applications, this literally just disappears. So it's literally built in with one of the Tic Exercise apps or one of the Tic apps. I was disabling the TicHealth stuff or Tic apps, and all of a sudden speaker draining is gone. One of the main reasons why I bought this watch, this Wear OS watch, was the fact that it came with the ability, the speaker drain. I actually loved the size of my Fossil Gen 5, and it ran okay. It was, Wear OS. But if you got it wet, if you wash your hands, if you take a shower with it, if you went into the pool, your speakers and mic would be essentially useless for sometimes weeks, or they just stay useless because the mics and speakers sucked on it. But with this, the reason why I bought it was the fact that it actually had speaker draining. So just something to keep in mind, if you want to get rid of all the Tic apps, you will lose that speaker draining. And again, that was like literally number one reason why I got this Wear OS watch, because obviously Samsung, they have the ability to drain the speakers. So that was cool. This is the Watch Active 2. It has a mic, it has a speaker. You can drain it. This has a speaker, has a mic. Look at that. It's not even working right now. And that does it too. So that's another thing. it's supposedly draining water, but it's not draining water. If we do it again, obviously it's working. And it does work when it works. And it'll literally shoot water right out the holes. So when it works, it actually works. The mic works pretty good. The speaker works pretty good. This is more consistent. For some reason, it's just more consistent. Now, speaker draining, again, to me, very important. If you're having a smartwatch, it has a speaker, it has a mic, you should have the ability to drain it. As you can see right there, I hit speaker draining, it didn't drain nothing. I hit it again, it actually works. So this is me kind of ranting. I am returning it, and they were pretty good. The customer service is pretty sporadic, but I found some phone number and I called it, and then it sent me a text saying it was after hours, even though Facebook said that it was Eastern Standard Time, but I guess it's actually Pacific Standard Time or whatever. And when I called it, when it was actually open at like 12 Eastern Standard Time, I left a voicemail, and some lady did get back to me. And she's like, all right, in order for you to do a return, you log in, because I bought it directly from them. And, you log in, you click warranty, and then you can actually issue a return. And they did accept my return. So I am going to actually return this because I do like it. But there's weird things. Another weird thing. Right now, the battery life on this thing is supposed to be amazing. For some reason, it really isn't. When I first got it, I did get like a day and a half, 2 days. I shut it off at night because I don't wear things I don't wear things on my wrist when I go to sleep. I don't even wear my wedding ring, but my wife doesn't like that. But in reality, I don't wear things when I go to sleep. So when I was done with it for the day, probably like 11, 12 o'clock at night, I shut it off, put it on the nightstand, came back, used it the next day. It probably died like 10 o'clock. It was like, hey, put me on a charger. And then it went into its like essential mode, which if you don't know what that is, I'll show you quickly. Easiest way to do that is to shut off always on display. This is like, it's like low battery usage mode. So I fully charged it. It was in its box, and for some reason, it's already at like 50%. Because I was like, hey, you know what? Let me do this video before I send it out. So I'm going to send it out today. But it does have this mode, which is pretty cool. You can see it nice in daytime. Obviously, at night, you can't see nothing. But battery life, it's supposed to be amazing. It has a huge battery. It did good for like 2-3 days, and I've had it for 2 weeks. Then from there, it's just dying. Like, it'll die. It'll give me the warnings at like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock saying, hey, let's go into essential mode. Let's like a lower power state. Huge battery. It's like a 500 milliamp hour battery compared to this thing, which don't get me wrong, by the end of the night, it's saying, hey, put me on a charger, but it'll last the whole day for me. And I actually enjoyed using this, and the fact that it works so good with my Samsung Galaxy S20 that I actually bought the 44 millimeter that'll get here later this week. And I've also had the OG version 1. But this, for some reason, the battery life has been kind of horrendous. And I don't do anything on this. I literally use it as a notification hub. I do get a lot of notifications. But other than that, I might take a short call on it, if that. But other than that, it's literally just notifications. Exercise tracking, I do go to the gym. I use the Stairmaster, so it doesn't track that. Because, usually my wrist I'm holding onto something. It's not like I'm actively moving it. But that's something you need to keep aware of, is that the battery life is so weird on this. And when I called Mobvoi, I think that's how you pronounce it, they said, oh, you know what? We think we actually have a bad batch. So just so you know, they might actually have a bad batch. I mean, again, early adopter expense, I guess you could say. So they might actually have a bad batch. So she said, oh, you know what? I think we do have a bad batch. So I don't know, early adopter things. But other than that, Wear OS itself runs good. Google Assistant works pretty good. If you try to send a text, a lot of the times, like if you try using Google Assistant to send a text, I'll get like, hey, can't connect. For some reason, it'll do the text, it'll show the text. When you hit send, it can't send it. If you're replying to a text that's already on there, or that you already received and you're just replying to it, it'll work. So Wear OS or Google issue, most likely. Watch issue, not. But going back to the battery life. So the battery life has been weird. It has a big battery. It's usually dead before the end of the night, or it's dying before the end of the night. I usually get up 6 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed 11:30. It's usually off my wrist on the charger by then because I don't sleep with it. Another thing too, the battery, for some reason, for 2 days, it actually got stuck at 88%. So it was stuck all day on 88%. Again, I was like, if it's actually at 88%, I'm not going to charge it. I shut it off, go to bed, wake up the next morning, turn it back on. Now it says 96%. Weird. I'm like, okay. Within an hour, it was dead. It was stuck on essential mode. I threw it on the charger. So again, weird situations with this. Weird situations. But if you're looking for a Wear OS watch that's fast, that works, better than it has in the past, and I'm comparing it to the original Huawei watch, which to me is still the best Wear OS watch that came out, material-wise, stainless steel, sapphire glass. If you're a watch person, you know how important it is to have sapphire glass. I have a tempered glass screen protector on this because this glass will scratch easily. I've had the Fossil Gen 5 as another Wear OS. I had the Huawei Watch 2 Sport for a little bit too. But if you're looking for a Wear OS watch that is going to move quick, then this is the watch for you. Or you can wait for other offerings that also come with a new chipset and the 1 gig. But again, the essential things that I got it for was a fast Wear OS watch with speaker draining, and it does have that. Now, going back to TicHealth, so I was like, all right, well, if I got to keep this TicHealth stuff, if I got to keep it, then you know what, let me use it. And for some reason, the heart rate sensor does not work for me. It says it's doing something, but look it, no lights. Let's try this again. Oh, yeah, but either way, it's telling me to wear it, but for some reason, the heart rate sensor was not working for me. See, it says it's on, nothing. You go to the Fit app, the Google Fit app, and the heart rate sensor would work. So the TicHealth features aren't working for me. Or it's not like sending the signal. I checked permissions, I checked whatever I could check. But for some reason, the Google Fit stuff works. See the lights going on? The Google Fit stuff works, but the TicHealth stuff doesn't work. Don't know why. I made an account. To make an account too, I had a bunch of trouble too. I had to actually email customer service. I gave them my email, and they basically made my account with a temporary password. Because I tried to put my phone number in and to make an account, and it just wouldn't let me. So I had to give them my email and my phone number, and they made a temporary account, or made an account with a temporary password. So weird things. This watch is actually nice. The band is actually nice. The comfort is actually there. The size, because they slimmed it down from the past one, is actually not bad. I don't have giant wrist, and this actually, I was used to it. I was like, this is pretty nice. Wear OS, it works. Calls, it works. One last glitch, and it's not just to this watch. I think it's just Wear OS in general. And I've had Pixel phones. I've had Galaxy phones. Right now I'm rocking the Galaxy S20 Plus. But one thing that happens is when I'm driving, and I do a lot of driving, and I'm connected to my car through Android Auto, if I get a call, it'll just automatically go to this watch. I don't want it to do that. I'm in my car. It'll just go to the watch for some reason. And for this watch, it didn't do it all the time compared to, say, my Huawei watch. But this watch, I still had the glitch. And it must be a Wear OS glitch where it can't say, hey, let's prioritize the car. With the Galaxy watch, I don't have that issue. I don't know if it's because it's Samsung to Samsung, but I've also had the Galaxy watch on my Pixel phones, and I didn't have any issues there too. So something about Samsung, they're pretty good at being like, hey, we know that you're connected to your car. Let your car take the call. But with Wear OS, again, this is not a hate on the TicWatch, because I've noticed this with all my Wear OS watches, and when I have a Wear OS watch, I just disable the calling feature, because the Huawei watch had that issue, the Fossil Gen 5 had it, and now this watch has it, that it's like, I want to be able to maybe take a quick call on this, or just answer the phone while I'm busy before I can reach to my actual phone itself, but I have those issues. So this watch actually has that issue, and as someone who does a lot of driving in and out of the car, if I'm connected to Wear OS, I want the call to go through my car. I don't want to go through my watch. And sometimes, the other thing, I only saw this with this, is that you wouldn't hear it anywhere. And it would just put it to maybe the phone or something. So it's really weird. And again, that's not this watch, it's Wear OS. But this watch does have some weird glitches. It's a really nice watch. It looks good. It feels good. Get a tempered glass screen protector on it. The regular TicWatch Pro screen protector is the one I have on it. It works. And I just think it needs a little more time. TicHealth has glitches. Again, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I tried it. I tried to fix things. I hard reset it. Tried to get it to work that way. Battery, there's some weird glitches. People are saying they get 2-3 days. I'm not getting anywhere near that. And I don't care to charge it every night. But I also don't want it saying, hey, I'm going to die at 10 o'clock. Because obviously, weekdays, you're going to bed 11, 12 o'clock anyways. But weekends, hey, maybe I'm out. Maybe I'm doing something. I want it to last me the night. So weird glitches, battery glitches, TicHealth glitches. Be aware that if you do decide to remove the TicHealth apps, you will lose that speaker draining. Like the menu literally just disappears. Like not the whole menu, but the speaker draining just disappears. And to me, that's a big deal. So I'm returning it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions. I can tell you my experience, but I'm literally going to bring it to the post office today. They accepted the return. They were cool. I didn't really have an issue with the customer service. Be aware that the customer service is kind of non-existent. So be aware of that. Great watch overall. This is like a good door opener for Wear OS as a whole. I liked my Gen 5, but speaker, mic issues, they sucked because maybe it was just clogged with water forever. I had a charging ring issue, which a lot of people are aware of, more or less on the Sports, but on my Gen 5, the little charging, that was coming off too. But it still charged. It looked good. I dealt with it, but I ended up saying, hey, let me upgrade to this. I ended up getting this really cheap for $120. And so I was like, okay, cool. Let me try this out. I used this. I enjoyed it. I like the ability to take calls. And I was like, I want to upgrade to the TicWatch Pro, even though it's going to cost me, $300 brand new compared to me getting this used for $120. But instead, you know what? Going back to Galaxy Watch Active, I'll deal with the crappy notifications, and but I'll have the consistent reliability. So I'm gonna go back to this, but 44 millimeter. Just my thoughts. I know it's a long one. I know I'm ranting. Wear OS has so much potential, and I want it to work because I see some of my family members are with Apple Watches, and they freaking love it. So why can't I love a Wear OS watch? Everyone, ask some questions. If you want to see videos on this, let me know too. Peace out.